it's Kelsey here. I'm sorry I haven't done a video. Let's see. Because I promised you guys a video every single day, I am going to, and I didn't, because for good reasons. I'm showing cleavage. Don't want to show that. I painted my nail. I'm weird. I like to do the one nail different sometimes. You know, I get bored. So I promised you guys a video every day. So I'm gonna, catch up myself and do the video, do videos that I was promised for you to do. But I have a video today. I'm gonna do 6th grade through 8th grade for you guys. But I first gotta tell you guys why I've been gone. So, let's see. Well, I failed my CNA competency exam. As you guys know, I finished my CNA class and I was taking my state test, and it was supposed to take 2 weeks for me to figure it out. Well, I got a letter and it says I failed. So I have to start studying again and I have to take it again. So, and I get 3 tries before I have to take the course again in college. So hopefully I pass it this time. My mom thinks I will, but I don't know. I'll have to see. I've been really trying to study a lot. That's why I haven't had a lot of videos. Also, it was 4th of July. I was hanging out with my family and just watching fireworks and hanging out and being awesome. But anyway, on to the video that I promised. So 6th through 8th grade. This was the years I was in middle school and I was trying to figure out who I was. I had my best friends, Ashley and Amber and Sarah and Abby. And Sarah and Abby didn't really like Ashley and Amber, so I would have to hang out with them separately. And, I remember I never had homeroom with them, so I was like the most miserable person ever whenever I had homeroom not with them. I didn't seem to have any classes with them, but of course, I would have lunch with them, and one day I would have it with Amber and Ashley, the other day I would have it with Sarah and Abby. Or when Sarah or Abby wasn't there at school, I would go sit with Amber and Ashley. And I remember Amber was really, really cool. And she would always invite us to her house because she had a pool and all that stuff, and I was really excited. And I remember Sarah and Abby, they would always do this RP thing, and it always seemed to take over their lives. They would always write in a notebook, and I never understood why until, of course, in high school. They never let me in on the secret of what they were doing. I didn't even know they were witches, because they actually are. They are Wiccan. So I didn't even know what was going on. I was just sitting there eating my lunch, and I'm like, yay, I have best friends. Because in middle school, if you didn't have any friends, you'd be the one that be picked on. And I always felt really bad for those people. So, and also I was obsessed with hot lunch. I was never one of those people that always brought a cold lunch to school. I was always the one that had all the money, and I would get hot lunch every day. Or I would try to. And let's see. I remember also in 8th grade, it was the biggest thing when you got to see the life birth video. Because in 8th grade, you would get to see a baby growing inside a woman, and actually her coming, like the baby coming out of the vagina. And I don't know know why, but it was like the greatest thing on earth. And I think they actually cut that out after my brother after my brother's grade. And it was so funny. I was actually kind of disgusted. I was like, ew, this is so gross. So, yeah, it was really funny. Let's see. There were other things, too. I can't remember. It's hard remembering, like, everything from 6th to 8th grade. It was really weird. I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. Let's see. I kind of started getting lazy. I was still at my old house and in the country with my huge room. And actually, I still played with Barbies, too, when I was in 8th grade. I think, oh yeah, Ashley was really, like, arrogant. She would always, like, I feel like she was. I don't think she was doing it on purpose, but we would always, like, we would always be like, oh yeah, I want this, and she'd be, like, the first to get it, and then be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I already got that, and, and she had her mom, and her dad was divorced and stuff like that, and so, she would kind of get, like, almost everything because they were kind of playing. I felt they were playing, like, the divorcee parent, where they wanted to give her everything, but that was just me. Sorry, Ashley, if you're watching this. I loved you, though. You were really cool. I remember we would play, Pop Star in her basement, and we would, like, make music videos and be, like, teams of 2, and then we'd like, have people judge us and stuff, and, like, who won and stuff like that. It was really weird. It was like Amber and Ashley and me were just like a clique. And we were in choir all together. Sarah, me, and Abby. And Amber was too. So Amber kind of got to know Sarah and Abby a little bit more, and they were kind of like, yeah, okay, yeah, cool. And, but yeah, it was really cool just, like, hanging out and stuff like that. Oh man, I don't remember. Oh, that was the year that I got bullied. 6th, 7th grade. We got a new student named Timmy. And he was kind of slow, and, he had, like, buck teeth and stuff like that. And everyone was everyone was trying to convince each other that I was going out with him, and that was my boyfriend. And I guess he, like, really liked me. And I was like, sorry, I don't like you. And he got, like, really upset, and I felt really bad. Also, I was in show choir in 8th grade. I actually joined show choir because what happened was 6th grade, my friend Angie I forgot Angie! Oh my gosh. Angie was, like, the greatest person ever. She would actually help me with the bullying and stuff because she was, like, a year older than I was. So when I was in 6th, she was in 7th. So it was, like, a big thing that I was friends with a 7th grader because I'm awesome. But yeah, I remember, I'll have to tell bus stories too. But yeah, I remember it was, like, a big thing, and she was like, stop picking on her, and no one would, like, pick on me anymore. It was fantastic. But yeah, I joined show choir because I actually joined it in 8th grade because, I keep burping up, because 6th grade she wanted me to do it, and I'm just like, no, I'm too shy, I can't do it, and she's like, okay, well, you're gonna have to do it in 7th grade. Well, I didn't show up for the audition, and I was like, no, I can't do it. And 8th grade, she finally pushed me to do it, and I joined, and I made it, and I was really excited, and we sucked, but it was good. I just remember, like, picking up the choreography and the singing, and I never could do facials, apparently, because I would always think about our next move, and so I was really bad at that. everyone would be like, Kelsey, you didn't do it again. And I'm like, sorry. Sorry, guys. I think the one award we won was like 3rd place, and that was like by a lot, like this much. But yeah, that was my show choir days. And also she wanted me to join show choir because she couldn't make show choir in freshman year, and she wanted me to do show choir to try and get it into high school, because apparently there was a rumor that if you did it in 8th grade or 7th grade or 6th grade that you could join. And so I was like, well, I don't want to do show choir in high school. I mean, because I saw Magic the one year, and then I was like, oh my gosh, Magic. I want to be in there. I want to be there in high school. So I did. Okay, the bus. So this is where I met Angie. But I was always, see, what happened was I was between 2 bus routes. I was between bus 9 and bus 14. And we would always switch every year. It was really weird. And they would have like different times. So every year I didn't know what bus I was on, and until like the day before, and you know, I didn't know. And it was just so crazy. I was so like tired the first day because I never knew what bus I was on until like the day before, because it was like and I mean, even in the middle of the year sometimes it would switch and I would be on bus 14 instead of bus 9. So what happened was, I got on bus 9, and on bus 9, I met my friend Crystal, and that was in 8th grade, 7th grade, and, because that was, like, more in my thing, but I met Angie in 6th grade. Now, let me do Angie's first. Angie is in 6th grade. I didn't know where I was going to sit. She always sat in the back of the bus, basically, because that's where the older kids sat. And so I sat with my brother because, you know, of course, sitting with my brother is cool, and we didn't have many friends, so we would be the nerds that would read on the way to school. And, you know, I remember passing Angie, and, you know, she kind of talked to me a little, and she would say, hey, you're the girl from my bus, right? And I'm like, yeah. And because our bus route was weird, they'd pull into our driveway and have to back up and pull out, and we were always scared we were going to get in the ditch because it was crazy. Our bus driver was crazy. We actually had a guy, and then he retired, and we got a really weird bus driver whom we called Twitch, which I felt really bad. Because she would, like, twitch her head, and then, like, because I guess she was kind of into cigarettes, and she coughed a lot, and it seemed like she was talking to herself and, like, twitching and stuff. So, yeah, that was kind of something that I regret doing, because she's actually quite nice. It was just, we always made fun of her for it. Well, actually, she wasn't that nice. She always yelled at us, but whatever. Anyway. But that was actually in 7th, 8th grade as well. But 6th grade we had a guy bus driver. He was really cool and stuff like that. And then Angie, you know, was just like, well, you want to sit with me? You know, you don't have to sit with your brother. And I felt really bad, so I had to ask my brother first in case, like, you know, he didn't want anyone to sit with him. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's fine, it's fine. And so he sat with other people. And actually a lot of people were like, would always sit with him because his voice was kind of changing sometimes, so it would, like, they would always laugh at his voice, so it was kind of funny. But yeah, me and Angie started to become more friends, and it was really awesome because she is a year older than me, and, you know, that's just how it was, like, 7th grade awesomeness, I got a friend older than you. And then, yeah, I remember Crystal, and she was, I actually talked to her now, but she was my 7th and 8th grade friend, or just 7th grade friend, I can't remember, 7th grade, just 7th grade friend, because I remember I was on the bus for maybe, like, I was on their bus for maybe, like 2 months, and we didn't really, well, maybe, I think 8th grade year, she ditched me as a friend. I can't remember. But, yeah, she was really cool, and actually she was 2 years ahead of me. So, she was already in high school, and so I was like, well, how's high school? Like, I was just freaked out. And, I remember, because she didn't like when people stared at her, but I was always the one that would stare at her because I was amazed of her for some reason. I don't know. It was really weird. And so, yeah, I would always be, like, staring at her. And I had to sit next to her, too, because there was assigned seating on that bus. And actually, Angie's mom was the one that drove that bus, but she wanted people to have assigned seating, so I had to sit next to Crystal, and I was staring at her. She's like, I hate when people stare at me, because she knew that I was staring at her, and I kind of, like, looked away. I was like, oh, okay. But me and her started to become a little bit more friends, and I would invite her over because I had a pool and everything, and I was all cool, because Amber and Ashley I kind of just ditched them because I didn't feel like dealing with them anymore. So they were becoming more friends, and I was gone. I was more with Sarah and Abby and Crystal and Angie. And so, yeah, that was fun. Oh, I remember when me and Ashley were friends, too. We went to the American Girl doll store in Chicago. And we did, like, this little photo thing, and it was really cute. I'll have to show you guys, because it's actually in my mom's room. And you get to see kids' photos of me. Oh, there we go. That's better. It's going to get really dark. Okay. So, this is what we look like. I was so cute. But yeah, it was really cute, and I remember we did it, and it was awesome, and I was excited. But, yeah, and there's some other photos that I could show you guys, but I don't feel like it. But yeah, we would always, like, hang out and be awesome and stuff, and then Crystal just decided, because she got me into, like, Green Day and Linkin Park and stuff, and that's where I kind of went through my hard rock stage where, she was wearing eyeliner and stuff. Oh my god, I'm so out of shape. I'm out of breath already. But yeah, she was into, like, the hard rock stuff because that's what was popular in high school. And so she introduced me to them, but then when we became non-friends, she was like, well, you were copying me. I listened to Green Day and Linkin Park every time she went to my house. We would not listen to what I wanted to listen to. So you kind of get used to it when you actually, like, listen to it for quite a while. And you start to like it, so whatever. But yeah, it was really weird. I think that's about it for all of my high school years, or my middle school. Oh, I forgot. So this was the year also, 6th, 7th, and 8th, especially 6th grade, is when I did all these tests. And what the tests were for was because I was failing science and math. And so they were like, why isn't she doing her homework? What is going on? I started falling behind a lot. And also, like, in English, I was getting kind of a bad grade, but not too much. And so they decided to do tests just to make sure I wasn't ADHD, this and this and this and that. And they found out that I have a learning disability, which is basically it's minor. I don't catch things as quickly as others. I've kind of grown out of it a little bit. I haven't used it in college, except I think last semester, before I took my CNA course, I took it just in case, because I know that I was still kind of struggling, and especially I had English, where I would write papers, and I had math. So those are the two really big things for me. Because I could never comprehend, I was never good at paper writing, because I would never be able to I knew what I wanted to say, but I never could put it on paper. So this video is getting really, really long, and I feel bad, but yeah. What happened was I had a learning disability, and yeah. So that's what happened. And I learned how to snap. That's exciting. It's really exciting because I'd never learned how to snap before, and now I do. But anyway, you know, that's when I learned I had a learning disability, and I started having IEP meetings, which is Informational Education Program. And I got put in resource, which is basically, I had a different study hall to where I could get help, and also, instead of moving on to algebra in 8th grade, I stayed in pre-algebra for 3 years. All 3 years. And it was so weird because I hated it, because every year I would learn the same thing. And it was so bad. I hated it. But, yeah, so that was my 6th through 8th grade years. I will probably be doing freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, like, differently, but we'll see how that goes. Because freshman, there's not really anything to do, so, but I don't know, we'll have to see. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!